Holy Brahma, Holy Brahma, Holy Brahma, Holy Brahma, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, help me with my karma, help me with my karma. Oh Brahma, 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 Holy Rama, Rama Rama, oh Rama Rama. Yo, what is up everyone? Welcome. Peace, presence, and purpose. Okay, so today's video is God is a hippie. And this video is a little bit more silly, a little bit more lighthearted, but also it can be a very important understanding and realization. Because many of our images of God are distorted or limited. So, to quickly explain what I mean is that I grew up religious, and so in my first 18 years of life, maybe 19 years of life, I, for the beginning half, grew up religious, and I would say I probably believed in God, but I just believed in God. I didn't really have any direct relationship with God, and I just didn't think about it that much, honestly. I just went to church and did what I was told, but yeah, that was about it. And then for a couple years, 18 and 19 years old, maybe 17 even, I became an atheist. I just or even more maybe so of an agnostic, I think is what they call it. But I was not interested or involved with any sort of religion or spiritual beliefs. And then when I turned 19, a couple months into being 19, I had my spiritual awakening. And even at the beginning of my spiritual awakening, I wasn't sure what was happening. I didn't know if I believed in a God or anything, but I started to recognize that there was something going on here. Wait a second, we are not here by accident. Not a chance in the world. Seen 11:11 one too many times. And so, even speaking about that, God is a hippie. It's as simple as that. I could over-explain this, I could under-explain it, but we're just going to talk about it. And so, when I first started waking up, I started to see these synchronicities of the universe. I started seeing, I started seeing 11:11. I started seeing 333. All these different synchronicities, and the more that I've spiritually awakened, the more I've seen new synchronicities, even beyond numbers, synchronicities with animals and just certain people. I think of them, and then the next day I see them, even if it's been years since I've seen them. Like people from high school, I'll just randomly have a memory, and then I'll see them at the gym or something. That's happened to me like 3 times. And so all sorts of things. And even silly things started to happen. And this is why I say God is a hippie. I don't mean it in any kind of disrespectful way, or I don't even mean it in any kind of like ownership way. Like, yeah, God's a hippie, religions are wrong. More so I mean it that God is labelless. So something I noticed in my life is that since I do not label or identify with all these things like the world does, the world is so much in their mind that we're all identifying with things. I'm white, I'm black, I'm a doctor, I'm an athlete, I'm a manager, I'm I'm Christian, I'm Muslim. All these different labels. And labels aren't always bad. I don't believe in bad. But labels are limiting. Because if you're a Christian, is that all that you are? If you're white, is that all that you are? Is that all you identify with? No, of course not. You're so much more than the labels that the world gives you. You're so much more than the labels that your mind tells you. And this goes for God. God is both labeled and labelless. We can label God in certain ways and it will be true. God is love. God is truth. God is unique and funny. But even those are limiting because God is not just funny. It's like emotions is the way I think about it. It's like I get angry. I might punch something. I might yell. I don't do that too much anymore. But when I get angry, is that all that I am? Am I identified with my anger? Am I always an angry person now? I hope not. I hope I'm not just an angry person to people. And it doesn't really matter what people think. I don't mean it in that way, but it's just like I don't want to just be angry in my life. But also I understand that anger is a part of me. I don't reject my anger. It's a natural emotion. And it's a necessary emotion. And it's the same with God. God is completely unconditional loving to us. But also, if we are remaining in our ego, if we are hurting other people, doing unconscious things, in a simple way to put it, God is going to give us experiences again and again to make us more conscious, to make us more loving. And from our ego's perspective, God does not he does unconditionally love our ego, but God does not serve our ego. God serves us. He doesn't serve us in the sense that he's our servant or anything, but he serves us in the sense that God loves us, and if you love someone, you serve them. It's just how it is. You have a wife or something, you serve them sometimes. You bring them food, you take care of them. That's a relationship. Service is not one way, or at least it shouldn't be one way. I serve God, God serves me. And part of God's service to me is to recognize that God is the fullness of awareness. Meaning that I can be aware in my life, but God is seeing the bigger picture of everything. So God is not serving my ego. So sometimes I might think God is against me, or I might be upset with what's happening, but God sees the bigger picture. He sees, Kai, that's your ego. That's what I'm trying to teach you right now. And so, but God is also very, very unique. God is very, very funny, silly. And I think that that's something that the world has forgotten about God, or suppressed within God, is that God is like us. God is like me. I am like God, made in God's image. And this is because God is a hippie. Because at the end, all of our hearts are hippies. And I don't mean hippies in the sense that God smokes weed or God does any certain thing. I mean God is a hippie in the sense that God is kind of a little bit crazy. Because I'm a testament of that. God has manifested in my life the most insane of experiences. I don't even like the word insane or crazy, because we often call things crazy to kind of like limit it. Like when like crazy or see, I just used it. When synchronicities happen or something very God-given happens, a lot of times we'll say that's crazy, which kind of like is a way of suppressing how we really feel about it because we don't want people to judge us. When in reality, no, this experience is amazing. It's beautiful. And that's what God is. God is amazing and beautiful and unique. But God is crazy in the sense, if you use the word crazy as like, well, things are a little bit wild here. Things are a little wild here on planet Earth, if you haven't noticed. And I have the most amazing of experiences. I can't share them in this video. They will be shared one day when the time is right. But find it for yourself. Let go of your mind's version of God. Because what must be understood or let go of is that God is absolutely outside of your mind. Anything that your mind describes as God is a limitation to what God truly is. Because God is not a concept. God is not a thought. God lives. God is the breath that you breathe, the air that you breathe. And so, in this world, all these religions have really just maximized on the very masculine traits of God. Maybe even some of the very unbalanced masculine traits. They have projected this onto God. God is not going to punish you to hell. Only you can punish yourself to hell, which hell is a state of mind. Hell is your mind, because your mind is what causes separation. Hell is separation from God. What keeps you separate from God is your mind. To be with God is to be present. To be with God is to be with the breath. To be with God is to be one. One with everything. Because you are one with everything. Under the same sun, my friends. So, God is a hippie. Figure it out for yourself. I'm sure you've already seen it. I'm sure you've had synchronistic experiences in your life. If you're attracted to my videos, you're probably a little bit crazy yourself. And you recognize that one of the biggest beauties about this life is the uncertainty, the magic, the synchronicities, the funny, weird experiences that happen, the funny people that you meet. And these people aren't way religious. Your greatest experiences don't come from things that are so organized and religious. I mean, they can. I'm not trying to disrespect that, but I'm just saying that there's beauty in the madness. There's beauty in the craziness. There's beauty in the weirdness. Stay weird. So, God is a hippie. God is everything. And God is with and within you. So I will leave with that. Har Har Mahadev. Sabek. Peace be with you.